Here is a basic recording technique that will help your vocals to really stand out in the mix. With a single compressor, the vocal can start to sound compressed if you hit it too hard. But with this technique using two compressors, you can get an in-your-face vocal sound without hearing the effect of the compression.
Everywhere I go, you can follow. Everywhere you go, I can see you crying.
I start off with a high-pass filter set anywhere from 80 to 200 depending on the vocal. And then if needed, I will add a de-esser as well. I then put in a compressor with a fast attack and a fast release. You may need to experiment a little bit with the release settings depending on your vocal track. The Waves H compressor is perfect for this. As you can see, the compressor is just catching the extreme transients, such as plosives, or if a singer gets a little bit out of control.
Everywhere you go, I can see you crying.
I then like to use the Waves Kramer PIE compressor to smooth out the overall volume of the vocal so that it sits properly in the track. As you can see, I'm compressing quite a bit.
Everywhere I go,
Threshold is at about -12. Decay, also known as the release setting, is at about 4. Compression ratio is at about 3 to 1. All vocals will require slightly different settings, so adjust accordingly to taste and what fits the best in your mix. After the second compressor, I added the Waves SSL EQ to add a bit of high end at 12K. Just making the vocal track sound good by itself usually won't work with the entire mix.
everywhere I go, you can follow.
The solo button is not your friend in this case. Make sure that the rest of the tracks are playing when setting compression, or any effect for that matter.
Everywhere I go, you can follow.
There are 4 tracks that make up the background vocal.
See now, we've made it through the fire.
I also used 2 compressors here, but the setup was a little bit different. I used the Waves H compressor on each backing vocal track the same way that I did on the lead vocal.
I'll be forever by your side.
The difference here was that instead of putting a second compressor on each track individually, I bussed all 4 tracks and then I ran them through the same compressor. Again, I used the Waves Kramer PIE. This to me makes the background vocals sit better together and is a lot easier to control the overall level. I didn't show a direct before and after in this video as I want you to try it in your own mix to really hear the impact of this technique.
I'll be forever